Become Legend is a tabletop role-playing game that may include elements of violence, substance abuse, mental illness, emotional trauma, and may include other mature content or themes. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good evening, summoners, and welcome to the next episode of Become Legend, an Ultramodern 5 actual play here exclusively on the Freeforge. Couple quick housekeeping things before we dive into it really quick. The wonderful Kim Grimm, or Io, I should say, is doing some fantastic tarot card readings for any lovely summoners out there that want to give 5 subs to the Free Forge. We have Aoife already, Trevor, hey, that's cheating, you're in the show, and Candle are already getting their card readings for next week. So Io will make sure to prepare those when she's not busy trying to deal with the issues in Zon. That will be going on all night. We're already in a hype train. I believe my mods have already hit the commands, but all of you get your first ability back as soon as it decides to work. Your second abilities as well. And your third abilities, which everybody all... Oh, hold on. No, I have to do it again. So thank you so much, and Mindy, thank you so much for giving a summoner spell to Reggie. You can donate 300 bits and give a summoner spell, which is basically just a +1 or +X, depending on how many they want to use, to any roll that our champions make during the game. And Aoife, thank you so much for giving an ability to everybody. That's quite fantastic of you. So, now, down to brass tacks. In our last match, we picked up with the group desperately trying to save Arch from falling the long 8+ stories to the ground in Piltover's high-rises. But thanks to a timely hype train from the summoners in chat, as the group made their last ditch efforts, Niche found the world around her slowing down and coming to a complete stop. Catching those flashes of movement at the corner of her eyes, she soon spied a dark wolf-like face looking up at her from underneath Arch's fallen body, and the slight white creature at her side. After a brief exchange where the two creatures spoke with Niche and her talents on life and death, and promised to keep the balance as the scales appear to be currently off, Niche agreed to their ominous and mysterious terms in order for them to save Arch, not knowing when or how they would come to collect from her in the future. As the world resumed moving, the other members of the group managed to get Io up over the edge and a bit of confusion ensued as to how Arch suddenly appeared behind them, though they weren't given much time to deliberate, as they heard shouting and spotlights from miniature enforcer-piloted airships began to shine down, searching for them. They made haste to the last building just across the street from the bridge and access to Zon. Retreating into the building's exterior after Arch quickly dispatched with a locked door, they headed to the main floor, which appeared to house some finery clothing stores, empty at this late hour, with only a lonely janitor mopping the floor. As Arch rushed to the far end Julian designer collection to try and locate a hat, both Reggie and Niche calling out to the custodian that they were never here. Io pulled a card from her deck, and the arcane magic infused in the cards charmed the cleaner, Io making him really believe that they were in fact never there. The group raced out into the street, the airships far above but not far behind, and crept to the bridge. Seeing a minimal guard force still locking down the bridge, Nemo used his ultimate ability to dispatch the bridge captain in a quick shot, while Io and Reggie both rushed down the bridge to combo their ultimates again, making quick work of the remaining guards. After this altercation, Reggie seemed to have some sort of flashback to a memory of some difficult exchange he was a part of on this very bridge, with only the vision of death and the sound of maniacal laughter ringing in his ears. As the group continued to make their way across the bridge, the airships started to fire at them. Nemo, still ablaze from Reggie's ultimate, rushed and jumped from the bridge into the toxic waters below. Niche, being able to use her ultimate to sap the life from one of the pilots of the ships and transfer it to him before he splashed into the dark waters below. With two airships out of commission and one lagging behind, the rest of the group was able to make it to the other side of the bridge and started heading back to JJ's, Nisha's shop in Zon, to hopefully reconnect with their high-diving lemur friend. As they made their way to the shop, the group noticed some strange sounds, lights, and movement around them. Stopping in the center square just off from the shop, an individual on a hoverboard met with them. Turning out to be Echo, after a brief conversation, they head into the shop, finding Nemo already there. Echo came out to Io that he is after essentially the same thing that Casker had set them on task already, but for different reasons. Wanting the group to help bring down Jinx, but save Vi and get her back to the Firelights, Echo knows the entrance to Jinx's lair, and gives Io a beacon to light when they are ready. After some more brief exchanges, the group headed to the roof, and that is where our next match will start. Io, what happens next?
Io lights the beacon and holds it high into the air.
So as you kind of turn and pop this... Oh. Sorry, we've completed a level 5 hype train, so you get your ultimates, and now we're on our way to a 7. We completed a 6 level hype train, and we're on our way to a 7 level hype train. There's no more abilities. I'm sorry, chat. There are no more abilities, summoners. I can't just make up abilities for them to have on the spot. So how about every single level we complete, I'll give everybody another +1 to their summoner spells, including myself, because I need help too.
No, you just got a lot. You need no more help.
On top of that, oh my God, James. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. We're gonna break the stream for a second here. So Mindy, giving 1 to Niche. Thank you so much, Mindy, for that 1 summoner spell. MSM Dragon, my apologies, giving 5 to Arch. Maybe he can buy another one of those Julian hats instead of stealing it this time. Glitterbug Ray Ray, thank you so much for giving 1 to Io and 1 to Niche. And then the true hero, the true champion of chat tonight this evening, y'all. My boy James, aka Trevor Liaden, aka I think it's Devin on the honor roll stream, maybe. I can't remember. Who is it? Derek? Devin? I don't know.
It's like Millen.
It doesn't frickin' matter because Homeboy comes out with 18 summoner spells for me. So that's going to put me at 22. I don't even...
Excuse me?
I don't know what I'm going to be able to do with all of these, but I'm going to figure it out. So thank you so much.
Let's
and then
reduce
Warrior,
your crit to 2.
and then Warrior coming in hot with giving 1 to all the players. So thank you so much.
Can I just say that, Dylan, you're no longer invited to the BL LARP
Oh, it's
Club on
Dylan.
Friday?
Sorry, Dylan. My apologies. Yes, it's Dylan. Way to be, James. Way to be. Thank you so much. All abilities activated. We are close to breaking the Freeforge's last record, but you know what? We're just gonna ignore that now. We're gonna ignore that now. I got all of the tokens out. Everybody's got their summoner spells. As Io pulls this kaleidoscope-looking device made of metal with some type of cartridge and pops it, you all fall asleep. No, I'm joking. A vibrant blue gas begins to funnel out of it and stretch into the air down here in Zon. And as you all kind of wait, maybe a minute goes by before you start hearing the and seeing the green lights of the hoverboards as 6 of these individuals, all masked. One of them you can see is Echo, wearing the same owl-like white mask, kind of circle around the building above you. You can see off in the distance between buildings and closer to the bridge more of these individuals kind of flying around, and Echo sets down along with four of these other individuals as they kind of land on the bridge on top and beside you. Io kind of pops the mask for a second, or sorry, Echo kind of pops the mask for a second, looking at Io takes off Echo's mask. Fade to black. No, Echo takes off his mask for a second and, well, you ready? I got a safe place for all of you to rest the night before I take you in the morning. Probably not safe to be out at dark, and the enforcers are bringing a couple more folks over to try and find you right now, so probably best you come with me. Anything else you need to grab before we go?
I think we're all in order.
Perfect. Well, and kind of like kickstarts this board that kind of hovers like a foot off the ground, and he's got 1 foot on it and kind of reaches a hand out to you, Io. Shall we? And as soon as you take his hand, he pops his mask down, and with a strength that you weren't really expecting and a speed, he kind of pulls you in dancer spin style and whips you around and kind of puts you on his back, so you're almost in a piggyback, and hops up on the hoverboard, getting the other foot off, and does like one of those little whistles, and the other 4 are kind of pairing up with the rest of you, Arch, Reggie, Nish, and Nemo. One of them not even really talking to you, Nemo, just kind of like fireman picks you up in that side hold and hops on the hoverboard. The other 3 like kind of directing the rest of you to climb aboard individual hoverboards as Echo takes off with Io on his back. I'm just gonna need everybody to make, oh my gosh, great hype train. Thank you so much, everybody. Level 7 completed. I don't think we quite completed the level 7, but we were close. I will get everybody to just make dexterity saving throws for me really quickly. The DC is higher because you all have lots of summoner spells, so go ahead and make a dex saving throw for me. Arch.
19.
19? Reggie.
Natural 20.
Oh my gosh, put your 20s in the chat. Stamosis, same though, Stamosis. Io.
19.
19? What the fuck? Niche.
I will use Nisha's second ability to make that 13 a 17.
Okay.
And then use a summoner spell to make it an 18.
Okay. Yep, you can do that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of awkward between you and this individual as you get on the hoverboard. Niche not very touchy-feely unless she's dealing with patience. So tell me how you use this ability in the summoner spell to kind of make it a little less awkward for yourself.
Standing on the back of the board, Niche recognizes how comfortable this member of the Firelight is, and in just maybe a moment of weakness, maybe a moment of strength, we just see her take a deep breath in, and some energy seems to wisp off of the Firelight in front of her and then go into her lungs, and she seems a little bit steadier after taking that.
So Nemo, before you make your dexterity saving throw, I would like to know, how does Nemo react to being picked up in this way? Because that's going to determine how you make your check really quick for me.
He will immediately, I wrap my prehensile tail around the arm. I'm Vestayan, not fucking luggage.
Okay, just give me a straight dexterity saving throw. Because you're
Okay,
wrapping around the individual, which gives you advantage, but you're being Nemo, which was going to give you disadvantage, so we'll just call it a straight roll.
Okay. Is a 25 okay?
Yeah, a 25 will work. So as Echo streaks off down with Io in tow, the rest of you are whisked off, being carried, unfortunately, with such great rolls. There's not much I can do to you, and it's probably like a good 10 minutes you're zooming through alleys and over buildings and under archways, not that arch, but like actual archways, and then into like one of those larger sewer systems that you had been in on your first night together when you escaped the enforcers. And as you're going down, you see all of a sudden you pop out into this vast open space, probably larger than like a football stadium is this area, and in the center is this something none of you have seen down here. Oh, actually, sorry, on your way there, while you're going through the thing, I'm gonna need everybody to make a constitution save unless you put your masks on while you were going through, which none of you did, because even though I told you way before that you all had masks and you would need to wear them sometimes, nobody put your masks on. Don't look at me like that, Reggie. Don't look at me like that. You know where you are. Constitution saves from everybody.
I'm already poisoned.
Yep. So you fail automatically. Arch, Constitution save.
I got a 16, but I'm still not confident that that's going to be high enough. Let me just throw another point in there to make it a 17. That number sounds a little better to me.
Okay. Reggie?
Dirty 20.
Reggie just fired tonight. Get it? Io, what was your con save?
That was a natural 1.
A natural 1? Fantastic. Niche.
19.
19. Nemo.
Oh, okay. If I don't automatically fail, that'll be a 14.
Oh, yeah, sorry. No, you automatically failed.
Yeah, because I'm already poisoned. I went swimming.
You're already poisoned. So as you kind of dip into one of the sub-sewer systems, the thrill of this ride kind of making you all forget that the gray does exist in parts of Zon, especially when you get to the lower levels and the air becomes thick and toxic. Io and Nemo start hacking like crazy. Now, luckily, you're both secured enough, one with who you're riding with, and the other one with being coiled around them almost like a snake, that you're not going to fall off or anything. But you will both take 5 points of poison damage, and Io, you are now poisoned for the next hour. So, as you break into this vast opening after coming through one of the sewer subsets, this giant tree in the middle, and you see kids running around below playing, and various types of adults all hanging out and kind of just living their lives a little bit. It seems like this area could fit a lot more people than it currently houses. And as Echo kind of sets down near the tree, the other 4 riders kind of following in tow and lets all of you down, kind of pops the mask and looks at you, Io, and, oh, yeah, sorry, I probably should have told you guys we had to go through the gray. Should probably just wear masks when you're down here. That's usually why we do. If you don't have them, we can get
flustered.
We can get you some. Yeah, when he goes to put you down, he kind of like pulls you around and does that like waist like set down like real gentle. And Io gets that look on their face. It's pretty nice in here, eh?
Beautiful.
If Jinx has her way, or the people in Piltover do, if we don't figure out this war soon enough, I'm scared that it's all gonna go away. We've already lost so many. Kind of looks over at one of the walls on the side by the tree, and you see this big mural painted of faces smiling back at you. And there's currently 3 painters adding on about a half a dozen more faces to the mural right now, and kind of slings his mask around. And, well, there's quarters where you can sleep. There's we got some scavengers and salvagers and stuff if you need to buy anything that you think you might need. If you don't have everything, I gotta go check in with some other stuff, but I'll come check in on you guys later. All right?
Appreciate your help.
Kind of gives you a nod and a slight smile, and jumps on the board and kind of does like a quick like 540 around the tree, like kind of you can tell maybe showing off just a little bit, and then zooms into one of the balconies that's up and across the way, leaving the 5 of you to your own devices in the Firelight Sanctuary. What would everybody like to do?
Well, Arch leans next to like Reggie a little bit and kind of like a little whisper in the ear, like, "Did you see that move he did with the mask before he scooped up? I mean, that was impressive. Do you think he would be willing to gamble that mask if I offer a bet of some sort?"
Arch, come on.
I mean, it's gorgeous. It would look fantastic with this jacket and my hat. I mean, it's, complete the ensemble.
Just be grateful you got the hat. Just ride that high for a little bit.
Okay, I'll give it till tomorrow and then we'll see.
Yes, let's follow up on that tomorrow. Just put a pin in that.
That's fair.
Do you think they'll let me climb that tree like all the way? Because that'd be a really good spot to look at everything.
I think you should do it.
But not until you've rested.
Nemo, give me
Give
me a perception check at disadvantage, please.
Oh God, I hate me tonight. Oh, well, I mean, it's not going to be that bad. I mean, it's 7.
7. Okay. Yeah, you're not feeling great. Sorry, Niche. Go ahead.
You're not allowed to go hopping and skipping and jumping around anything until you've rested. Nemo, you still look terrible.
I mean, look, I haven't restyled the mohawk. I get it, but I mean, maybe if I borrow one of those boards, they'll let me. No, I think I'm gonna go lay down.
Come on, I'll help.
Crap. All right, and I will curl my tail around Nisha's arm, not nearly as tight as it was on the hoverboard dude. Just something very familiar.
Anish kind of squeezes the part of his tail that would come into her palm. And Nish will walk to Nemo, or walk with Nemo to wherever Echo's dictated as a place where we can rest and recover and at least regain our breath a bit.
So you can see kind of like on the outcroppings of this massive space, there appear to be lots of like different areas where there's like multi-tiered beds set up. There's like little mess tents, like even a couple little shops that you can see that are being run. So it's fairly easy to like, actually give me an investigation check, Niche. Just see if you decide to go sleep in somebody else's bed or if you're able to properly navigate to find your own.
A 10.
10. So you lead Nemo over to one section where there appears to be like, you're kind of planning for everybody. You're kind of planning for everybody when you're thinking about picking out a place to sleep so that all of you are close together, and you see a tier that's got like triple beds, and there's 3 sets of them, so 9 beds in total. And as you kind of lead Nemo over there and you like flip back one of the covers to help Nemo get in bed, and there's like a small child already sleeping in the bed. And you hear like a sharp like, "Hey, leave my son alone. What are you doing?" And you kind of panic and you kind of panic and move off. And after a little bit of time, you eventually do find a section that's got enough beds for all of you that is kind of solo and not being used.
Here, can I try something that might help you recover a bit easier?
Sure, but you've already done a lot for me. Thank you, by the way. I know you always have my back, but that was something else. By the way, that really hurts.
Yeah, no, it's the city is infused with pollution, with poison. Every time you breathe, you can feel how thick the air is. And when you go into the water, Nemo, if you do that again, you can feel it 10 times, 20 times more potent than what you breathe in. I don't know if I can save you again.
No, I meant the thing you do. I've seen you do it a few times, but you've never done it to me. It feels weird. Like for a moment, I'm like feeling like I'm somebody else, and then I'm me, but then it hurts, but then it doesn't. It's really wild what you can do.
Interesting. That's honestly not dissimilar from how I feel. It's so uncanny, it's strange even to reach into someone else, incorporate what they have into myself, and then give it away.
Yeah, it just felt bizarre. I mean, I was also on fire, but there was something like tingly. I knew it was you, but there was just something like, ooh, maybe I'm just still feeling dizzy. I don't know.
Would another bizarre feeling right now be a bit too soon? Or
well, I don't. It depends. No. If you're talking about that, no. Save for somebody else. You know I can handle stuff. But I do promise I won't go swimming again, unless I have to. And I had
you
to.
Have to.
Also, next time, closer to socks. Got it.
That would be advised, yes.
Yeah. No, the whole wow. Yeah, no, that sucked. Yeah, I'm really sorry we had to leave too. I know how much, that meant to you, but it'll be okay. Come on, we've been through worse.
That is most certainly true. I could sit here for a bit, enjoy looking at the tree and enjoy sitting with you for a bit.
The tree. How about you just take the watch and I'll just kind of curl up for a while?
Please.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna take a rest. I got guns to clean in the morning. Thanks, Niche.
What is Io doing?
Probably finding a place to rest as well, just because she just hacked up along a little bit.
Okay. So in that case, you kind of wander over and find where, like, as Niche and Nemo are finishing this conversation, you wind up in the same spot and kind of lie down. Is there anything Arch or Reggie are doing before joining the rest of the group to rest for the evening?
As we were walking, I would just tell Reggie, before I decide to lay down and take the rest, I'm just gonna take a quick walk. I'll be back in just a minute. I just need to clear my head a little.
Okay. Would you like some company, or do you want to do that up by yourself?
Yeah, I mean, if you're tired, I don't mean to impose. Feel free to go and take a seat, but I just wanted to check something out over there. You're more than welcome to tag along.
I mean, if you're not saying no, then I want to check something out too.
All right, let's go take a walk. And I'm gonna head straight over to where, like, the mural is, and I want to sit far enough away, like maybe near the tree or something, to where I can kind of look at that piece.
Sure, you're able to find like a nice spot where a bench is. They've got little viewing areas of this mural set up. It's pretty important to them, so you're easy enough to find a seat.
And as we sit down, you see Arch is just kind of staring at the mural. And he's not saying anything to you, Reggie, and he's just staring. And you see, like, tears kind of starting to come down.
Oh. Arch, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. He's kind of like wipes his face. It's I've just been, look right there, and he points up, and he describes in the location of the mirror. That's Sosin on the mural.
That's Sosin.
Yeah.
How did Sosin get on the mural?
Honestly, that's probably a good question for the mask fellow. But I mean, I haven't seen his face in so long. It's just making me think about this trip we had. It's actually probably the best trip I've ever been on. I went to Ionia once, and actually that's kind of where things sparked off between Sosin and I. It was it's just been cycling through my head ever since we parted ways. And have you ever had one of those memories that just replays over and over? I think of the first time we touched hands, and Sosin putting their arm over me, and all I can picture are those smiles back and forth and the long black hair. I can't get over it. It's just, and seeing Sosin's face on this mural, it's just, I just wanted a moment to relive that time.
I suddenly feel like I'm intruding on a very private moment.
No, please. And Arch just kind of taps your leg. I know we haven't known each other very long, but it's nice to be able to talk about Sosin. Honestly, I haven't been able to say the name for so long. The last year or so has been dark and scary, and it feels good to be able to open up a little bit.
Well, I'm glad that you are, and you can always open up with me. I'm here. I got you.
I appreciate you, Reggie. I really do. And he just kind of leans over and gives you like a little side hug. And for a moment, he just stops and doesn't say anything and just kind of lays there on the shoulder. Every once in a while, you get the... And just, after a few moments go by, okay, we can... I really need a rest. I think I'm a little into myself right now. Probably be good.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's go lay down. Let's go rest. Yeah. It's been a long day.
All right. Just head back over to the bed, this bed space.
And as the two of you wander over, noticing Io and Nemo already passed out, Niche probably sitting on one of the ground floor bunks, just taking in this strangely peaceful environment from the chaotic royal that you have all been used to the last couple of days. And Arch and Reggie kind of grab their beds and settle in, and sleep finds you quickly. The beds are comfortable. The ambient noise from, people talking, children laughing, people playing, is kind of nice as you all kind of fall asleep. Niche doing her best to stay up and keep watch, but is there anything Niche wanted to do before going to sleep? Because it doesn't take very long for you to notice that this is a safe space and all of you probably don't need to set up an actual watch.
Even though she can feel that it's safe, they need to stay close to Nemo tonight, so they don't move to one of the open beds. She just kind of falls asleep sitting on the ground in front of where Nemo's rested, probably with a hand up on his bunk, resting somewhere on his leg or on his tail. Kind of droops a bit somewhere in the night, but Niche just falls asleep right there.
So as you fall asleep, darkness taking you, you're not sure how long you fall asleep for before you kind of nod yourself awake. The entire area around you pitch black and empty. As you look out, just the tree remains. Everything else is dark and black, and you see on one of the lower branches, sitting, legs going back and forth, is this furred, slight white character that you spoke with just a few hours before. And you can see up around the top of the tree, darting around, is that wolf's face with the white mask and the glowing eyes, seemingly picking different insects or something out of the air, almost like it's feeding. And the white furred character kind of beckons you over, playing with the bow.
Niche immediately looks behind her and watches Nemo for a moment, trying
Nemo's
to figure
not
out
there.
has time. So it's just purely black.
You are in a completely dark open space with only the tree visible. It is darkness in every direction for as far as you can see.
Niche is up on her feet, and then they realize they were already up on their feet, which is strange, and they begin to approach the tree, and their eyes snap up to the small white figure. This is a different trick from last time.
We quite like it here. It is nice, you hear from the top of the tree. Now, it is time we had a conversation. We must talk. And you see
About what I've promised you.
You see the individual sitting on the bough of the tree kind of let themselves flip backwards, and they do probably 2 or 3 flips before landing on their feet and just kind of sauntering up to you a little bit playfully and kind of grabs your hand and starts leading you away from the tree. It's kind of walking all normal, and you see the wolf's head kind of stay behind. This is a conversation for you and me, alone. I'll be over here. And as you walk, the tree kind of slowly starts to fade until you are just walking in pure darkness.
Why can't the other one come for this?
The other one takes. I am the one that gives.
Interesting. What are your names, actually? You already know who I am.
We go by many names, Little Wolf and I. I suppose the one used mostly for me is Lamb. Together we are kindred. We keep the balance. We tip the scales. Wolf takes while I give.
All right, so you're going to give me a present.
Present? I gave you
You
your
did?
friend's life. Isn't that a gift?
It was?
I can send Wolf to change that right now if you'd like.
No, let's keep that status quo how it is. But I thought that I would be giving something to the two of you.
You are going to give something to us. You hunt a troubled soul. Very troubled indeed. She has been keeping Wolf well fed. But unfortunately, because of her actions, the scales are now out of balance. This must be rectified. When you hunt them, you must make us a promise.
Go on.
Though it may seem tempting to rid the world of someone so broken, so damaged, you must promise not to kill them. Jinx must live. Can you ensure that happens, little one?
I can do my best.
A life for a life it will be. If Jinx is taken, so too will we take Arch. And you feel this squeeze on your hand, and all of a sudden you pop back up and you are sitting beside the bed looking at the tree, startled awake, the world around you normal again.
And my best must be enough.
After a little bit more trouble, you find yourself drifting back into sleep, and everybody can give themselves a long rest. Waking in the morning to, again, the sound of children playing, the smell of fresh food being cooked. And the day, it seems for right now, is yours. Is there anything in particular anyone would like to do? Well, Reggie, then, as you kind of find yourself waking up and doing your morning routine, whatever that might look like for Reggie, you see you see individuals kind of coming and going all the time on these hoverboards, darting in and out of various sewer entrances and balconies and stuff like that. And as you're kind of looking up and thinking it kind of looks really cool, you see, make me a perception check really quick.
I would like to use 4 summoner spells to make that a 15.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you for using those because it didn't matter. But you peek up and you see Echo come out of one of them. No mask on, just these white dreadlocks kind of flowing in the wind, and he kind of circles around for a second, and then you can see that him like beelining right down towards you, and he kind of like screeches the hoverboard to a stop and kicks it up and throws it on his back and kind of looks at your group as you're all just kind of waking up, gives a little smile to Io, and then I trust you slept well.
Yes.
You're Reggie, right?
Wait, how do you know my name?
I think you guys Io introduced all of you the other night. It's okay. It's been a long couple of days. I get it. Don't worry about it. But you are Reggie, right? It's not that guy in the... Is that a Julian hat? Where the fuck did he get that from? Never mind. You're Reggie, right?
Yes, I'm very much Reggie.
Awesome. You come with me?
Where?
I just got somebody that wants to chat with you really quick.
Oh, are you gonna spin me up onto that hoverboard with you?
Nah, I think we'll walk. It'll be okay. And kind of like looks past you to the rest of the group, and I'm just gonna steal your grandpa here for a few minutes. I'll be back. All right.
Hey now.
Are you not old enough to be my grandpa, Reggie?
I am nobody's grandpa.
It's not what I asked, but okay. And kind of like does like a little spin and heads towards one of the sets of stairs.
I don't like this guy, but I'll be back.
You want me to
Yes. But later.
Okay. Oh, all right.
I rolled a natural 20.
Oh boy.
You see, like, super quickly, all of a sudden, Echo grabs something on his hip and tosses it behind him. And you see this disc expand and these, like, razor blades pop out of it. And it's, like, very quickly moves and stops about an inch in front of your face, Arch. And then slowly retracts and whips back into his hand, and without even looking, he catches it and puts it on his belt. Careful.
It's just a friendly joke. Yeah. Careful, Reggie.
Come on, Reggie.
Just be careful.
And keeps walking. And you are led up several flights of stairs, down some hallways, through one room into another room, into this, like, big workshop. And as you approach the door, Echo kind of opens it and, like, stands on the outside and just kind of does that, like, arm open and waves you forward. I'm sure you can find your own way back after.
So I'm not gonna die in here, because
Hasn't enough blood been shed the last couple days?
yes.
Exactly. Have fun.
Thank you for your service.
Kind of does the little nod, and you hear the door close behind you, and you can see this workshop has got odds and ends of mechanical bits and scrap metal and springs and pieces of stuff kind of strewn about all over the place, and you can see the sparks of something happening around the corner. Is there anything Reggie's going to do right away?
I think Reggie's just gonna head towards whatever that is.
So as you round the corner, you come to this large workbench that appears to have some sort of like base tripod-like frame sitting on it, and there is a short individual, maybe would only be two and a half feet tall if it weren't for their extremely fiery, large dome-shaped hair that gives them like another half foot. They currently have this giant welding mask that takes up half of their body over their face, and they're like, and you hear from out underneath the mask, "Just a second, I'll be right with you." And they kind of keep going along at this for a moment. Eventually they stop and put it down and flip the lid up, and you see the Yordle-like friendly face of an old friend as Heimerdinger stares back at you. "Reginald! It's a pleasure to see you, old friend." And
As I live and breathe, I never thought I'd see you again.
well, these are definitely strange times, that's for sure. And kind of pulls the helmet off and walks down these steps that were propped up against this work table for him, and kind of walks over and reaches a hand up to you. "It has been a very long time, Reggie."
Too long. I'll reach a hand down.
And as you shake, he kind of turns, and all of a sudden you like feel this bash into the back of your leg, and it's not painful, it's just like startling. And as you kind of jump, now, relax, and you turn around and you see Heimerdinger's little Poro has bumped into your leg and obviously remembers you and is like scrambling up your leg like a dog would when they want to be pet.
Oh, I forgot what this was like.
Yes, they're still alive. Come, let us go over here and sit, and we can catch up a little bit. I can't believe it's actually you. I was shocked when Echo told me who was here, and that you were part of the group. It was very, very, very quite the conundrum for me, that's for sure. Plus, please, come, you must tell me everything.
Sure.
And kind of leads you to this back area that's a little bit more cleaned up, and there's a table set for two and an assortment of breakfast foods. And now we shouldn't chat on an empty stomach. Let's wait for a moment and fill our bellies, and then we can discuss. And kind of sits down and starts eating and motions for you to do the same.
Oh. Reggie's been through this before and knows better than to try and talk while we're eating, so we'll just grab a few bites.
As you kind of finish off your meals and pushes the plate away, and now, Reginald, you're not getting yourself into trouble again, are you? I've heard reports that there have been some big fires going on down here in the Undercity recently.
Those were my fires. They were trying to accuse me of something I didn't do. I had to defend myself. I had no choice.
Reginald, it's been over a decade since I've heard reports like that. We're not walking down that path again, are we?
I surely do not know what path you're speaking of.
Why don't you start at the beginning and tell me what happened?
Well, I was just walking down the street, minding my own business, and these enforcers were, they were like, "Reggie, you're Reggie. You have to come with us." And then they brought out the handcuffs, but I hadn't done anything. So,
Well, if you remember after what happened on the bridge back then, there are still probably those that want to see you brought to justice.
But, Heimer, you know that wasn't me. Not really.
I know that it wasn't all you, and that's why you're not in Blackwell Prison right now, Reginald. Because I made sure of it. Remember?
And even if you don't hear it, I thank you every day for my freedom.
Well, these are interesting times. I fear I've gone and almost made this, or actually definitely made the same mistake I did, like I did with you and Singed.
What?
I'm no longer on the council now, Reginald.
What?
And Heimerdinger sorrowfully, but without skipping much detail, explains the situation with Jace and Victor coming up and the creation of Hextech and everything like that to you. And well, they decided that the ways of the past weren't the way they wanted to go anymore. I bet you were pretty surprised when Hextech made its appearance in the first place after what happened with you and Singed. I thought maybe this time would be different. I was quite wrong. And I wanted to talk to you, Reggie. I wanted to apologize. I shouldn't have let it happen back then, and I shouldn't have let it happen again.
Well, I mean, what happened back then wasn't your fault.
It was my ambition in those old days, though. I really thought that the magic mixed with the chemicals could do better for us. Just like I thought the magic and technology of Hextech could do the same, but I've learned my lesson again that magic, no matter how well controlled it is just no good. I take it you heard what happened? The council being attacked? I bet you
did.
thought I was dead.
I have to admit, I was worried about you.
Well, luckily, when I got let go from the council, I decided to make my way over and see what Zon was like, and that's where I met Echo and realized that maybe some of the things we were doing that drove Piltover and Zon apart were the wrong things. Maybe I should have listened to you a little bit more back then.
I mean, you should always listen to me a little bit more.
You may be old by your people's standards, but remember that I'm still several hundred years wiser than you are, Reggie. That doesn't mean I'm infallible, though. We all make mistakes. So tell me, who is it that you're working for now? What brought you into the light, so to speak, again?
Working for is maybe a loose term. We're just kind of a group of people who happen to find themselves together and maybe saved is maybe yeah, we were saved by Casker.
Casker? You mean Casker Solomon?
I do.
Heimerdinger jumps up in his seat and walks across the table and grabs you by both sides of your coat. You must not trust him, Reginald. He is a very, very dangerous individual. Ties with Noxus and with Bilgewater. That's where he made his fortune, you know.
But he said he could clear our names.
It kind of like paces back across the table and hops down and sits down again and rearranges himself. And he he has been getting quite a bit of sway. He was attempting to come up. He was secretly trying to help us deal with our Silco situation. Getting more and more power, he was trying to find a way onto the council himself. Luckily, Jace didn't trust him much either. But Madala, she's Noxus too. Her mother came to visit, which I thought was quite an interesting turn of events, and well, it was right around the same time that Casker's power started increasing, so I don't know if there's anything there, but you need to be careful, Reginald.
Well, I sort of feel like we're in a bit of a bind here. We're kind of between a rock and a hard place.
Well, it's a good thing you met Echo, and hopefully him and the Firelights can help you, and I'll do what I can too. Just because I'm not on the council anymore doesn't mean that I don't have some sway. Well, take me to meet your friends. I wanted to catch up with you privately, but I think I'd like to meet the group that you're going to be traveling with and make sure that they can take care of you. Plus, it's good for digestion. Kind of hops off and starts walking towards the door. Unless there's something else you wanted to talk about?
No. I'd like to introduce you to my friends.
Kind of opens the door part way and then closes it again and turns back. You know that Casker's working with him, right? With Singed? Be extra careful, Reginald. And remember, despite what he did to you, vengeance is never the answer. And opens the door again and starts walking down the hallway towards where the big tree is. While this conversation was happening, was there anything anybody else was getting up to as you started your morning?
Nemo wakes up, feels a little better, and just starts cleaning his rifle. Just meticulously, not really saying a word to anybody.
Arch will look for a mirror and just to make sure, like, he's just checking the hat out. It's like first time to really, like, play with it and see how it works, and inspecting the coat too to make sure there's no like really significant burn marks on it. I mean, it's a Mary Nix after all, so he's just kind of like into himself right now.
Sure, give me an investigation check.
Oh boy. Investigation.
And I'm gonna up the DC by 5.
Well,
because I have so many summoner spells because Chad is flipping amazing.
I'm gonna just go ahead and use 5 of my points to bring me all the way up to 15, and we'll see if that helps at all.
So as you take off the coat and you're kind of inspecting it, the left side, you get halfway down and you're good, the middle, and then you turn and you look, and right where the pocket is on the right side, you find a hole big enough to fit 2 of your fingers through.
On one side, and this is like an internal thinking voice, like on one side, this is probably problematic because it ruined my jacket, but maybe I can sneakily slide something in or out of this pocket.
Is Io doing anything this morning?
Io is putting on their makeup as well, getting tidy, and putting those 2 dots underneath their eyes so people would look at her eyes better. And it's like, oh, would you mind it? Would I be able to borrow that mirror? Archibald.
Okay.
We can share. It's fine. It's fine.
Here you go.
Priorities, right?
Just like pruning like a cat.
Niche, anything that Niche is doing?
Trying to shake a bit of the strange encounter from the night before, which she just keeps playing over and over in her mind, trying to get all of the little pieces straight and really make sure that she remembers what they've committed to. She gives Nemo a squeeze before getting up and going and walking to the tree, and they will spend some time just putting a hand on the bark and just looking at this magnificent thing that's grown in the Undercity.
Sure. Give me a nature check, please.
Ooh, I will use 2 summoner spells to make that a 20.
Awesome. Plants and things that grow in nature have always been a very steadfast part of your life. Your mother had quite the green thumb and did a lot of greenhousing and growing in Ionia, and imparted a lot of that wisdom and love into you. And given the topography of this area, the setting that it's surrounded in, the fact that this tree is easily hundreds of years old is very weird. This tree should not be able to grow in this environment, and you're wondering how a tree that seemingly seems older than the infrastructure that's built around it could have gone this long without being discovered by somebody a long time ago.
Can she put a hand on the bark, close her eyes, and just try to reach out to the tree with their magic? It's something she's tried on other plants, smaller plants, and failed at, but maybe this thing that's been alive for centuries, she might be able to connect with it.
Roll a...
She's specifically trying, I think, maybe an Arcana check.
Yeah, roll an Arcana check for me. That's what I was gonna go with.
We'll use 1 more summoner point to make that a 25.
25. Okay. As you kind of connect with this life force in this tree, you actually feel some of the energy draw within to yourself. And for the next 24 hours, anytime you heal someone, you can add an extra 1d4 of hit points to them when you heal them.
Feeling that she's successfully drawn from the tree, Niche recoils and just takes a couple quick steps back. I'm so sorry, but thank you.
You see some of the lower branches rustle slightly. None of the leaves falling off or anything, but like just a slight movement, and you get the sense in your heart that it's okay. And Nemo, nothing else besides cleaning your rifle?
No, just very, very meticulous, like making sure that the gray and all the gunk from the water didn't get into it. Pointedly not looking outside and not looking at the tree. Almost obviously. Just focused on what he's doing.
Okay. So, as the morning progresses, probably half an hour, close to an hour passes before you see from across the way from where you guys were staying, where you had seen Arch and Echo disappear a while ago. You see Reggie and Echo disappear a while ago. You see Reggie coming back, but is accompanied by a Yordle this time instead of Echo.
Looks like Reggie found a new friend.
What? Oh, finally, I'll be taller than somebody.
Sorry.
As they approach. Yes, well, Reginald, as I requested, who are these lovely individuals that you seem to be with?
Yep, this is, there's Io and Niche and Nemo, and this right here is Arch.
And Arch does like a full-on, like, huge bow. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Wait a minute. Are you Archibald Archipelago?
Yes. I mean, how do you know? Yes, that's me. I'm Archibald.
Oh, my
Archipelago.
boy. I've waited a long time to tell you this, and I apologize.
Look, I swear it wasn't me. I mean,
Very sorry for your loss, son. And walks up and kind of clasps your one hand.
Oh,
Your husband was an incredible individual.
yeah.
Very, very, very stalwart. Arch, make a constitution save for me.
That is a 22.
Okay. You see the amulet pulse blue a little bit and then dim right away. I was very lucky to have known him and very fond of him.
I didn't know he. How did you know Sosin? I mean, was he here in this place? I see him on this mural, and I'm not quite sure why.
Heimerdinger kind of looks over at the mural and, yes, I wondered that too when I first arrived here, but no, I did a little work with your husband. Oh, right around the time that he... And I'll say Nemo and Io would be the only two that notice this, but you see Heimerdinger's gaze kind of go back towards Reginald when he says this. That incident on the bridge that took him. Very sad. Very sad indeed. And Reggie, you would hear this. He's not trying to say it quietly.
In truth, I'm not really. I don't really know everything that happened. Maybe once we're done with all this mess, you might be willing to share with me, and maybe we can catch up, and I can finally have a little bit of answers to all my questions. It would truly mean I would be in your debt.
We'll have to have lunch over it.
Thank you. Truly.
And then walks over to you, Io. A pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Pleasure is all mine.
And then starts to head towards Niche, but then comes back and, I'm sorry. What is your full name, my dear? To you, Io. To Io, sorry.
Oh, it's just Io.
Just Io. Kind of thinks for a second. Ooh, I rolled really crappy, but this is a really cool little bit of a story moment that I can make, so I will use 3 of my summoner. Callisto! Yes, that's it! You're Callisto's little sister! She told me so much about you.
You knew my sister?
I did. Again. Oh my gosh. What has brought all of you together? Such a terrible tragedies with over half of your group already. This is
just a bunch of broken souls.
Perhaps the 3 of us need to have a lunch after you return from the mission that Echo has you on. And we'll chat. Your sister was just as lovely as you are, though, dear. Oh. And kind of like half-heartedly stomps away, getting the impression that he's not very happy with how that exchange just ended. And sorry, it was Niche, was it? And kind of reaches up and shakes your hand and...
Yes, no, I don't really follow politics at all, but I do know some of the things you've built.
Long time ago, child. Long time ago.
Incredible.
Thank you. And goes over to you, Nemo, and... You're an interesting variant of the Vastayan population. I believe that we had a couple more running around that were similar to you, but they must be out on a mission or something. We'll have to introduce you if when you get back from your little task.
Wait. More like me?
Well, you are of the... I can't remember the clan really quick.
The
Sorry,
Shimon.
Trevor.
Yeah, the Shimon.
The Shimon. You're part of the Shimon, correct?
Well, yeah, but like we're a little bit of a different, like, you know, we're from an eastern area, and
Yes,
we're all
yes,
like
not far from
tails.
Wuju, I believe. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a couple more like you kicking around somewhere. Like I said, I can't really find them. Can't seem to locate them right now, but we'll definitely have to introduce you when you get back.
Yeah. Cause that's
quite
that'd
the
be
rifle
really
you got
interesting.
there.
Yeah.
Kind of steps back and goes back over and stands beside Reginald and, well, I'd like to wish you all good luck. I know that what you are going to be attempting is quite dangerous, but please, if you can, make sure that the Kieran girl gets back safely, and this Vi individual that Echo keeps talking about, and kind of points over to the wall, and you can see that one of the central faces on this wall is this young lady with the fiery red hair and the V tattooed under one of her eyes, and she looks like an older version of that. But the Kieran Girl, I know her parents must be worried sick, and kind of like elbows you, Reggie, and you remember the Kieranans? Their mother joined the council shortly before you had to depart, unfortunately.
Do remember.
Their daughter would have just been young when you had to make your leave, but do you remember, Caitlin? Roll a history check for me.
I'd like to remember. So I'm going to use 3 summoner spells to make that a 15.
Summoner spells, which you can get by donating 300 bits and giving them to one of our lovely champions or to myself, the summoner. You can also donate 5 subs to get a wonderful, fantastic card reading from Io. You can ask a question and she will check the cards and see what your future holds. Thank you so much, Yuhu2099, for giving another summoner spell to Arch. And to our main homie Warrior for giving 1 to Arch and 1 to Reggie. Thank you so much. And we will continue with what was your roll again, sorry?
15.
15?
Yeah.
You vaguely remember the Kieranans. You didn't very much get along with Mrs. Kieran when she joined the council. She had very different political ideologies than you did, and was abhorrently against the use of arcane practices. And you being an arcane practitioner, you kind of butted heads, but you do remember a couple meetings where Mr. Kieran is a doctor and would be in surgery or something like that. So this young girl would accompany Mrs. Kieran to a chamber meeting or something once in a while. So you have a vague recollection of who this Caitlin would be. She's grown up into quite the interesting young lady. Very, very strong-willed, much like her mother.
I do remember she was a precocious little type.
Yes.
So I can only imagine how she is now.
It only gets worse as they get older, they say.
Oh.
Well, I'm sure you all have a big day ahead of you. I believe Echo wanted to see you in the hangar over there, if I'm not mistaken, if you're all ready to go, and kind of gives a little bow and lingers on Arch and Io a couple seconds longer than everybody else when making eye contact. Best of luck, and get those girls home safe, please.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah, it should be pretty easy.
got a lunch date, right?
Indeed. Well, back to our conundrums. And kind of turns around, and the little Poro headbutts your leg one more time, Reggie, and then chases off after Heimerdinger, and you are all left to your own devices again. The hangar off to the side, indicated by Heimerdinger for you to go when you are ready. Is there anything anybody is doing before you head off?
Nemo is staring at Arch. Just, your last name is Archipelago?
Yeah, it's Archibald Archipelago. You see, there's no numeric specifications, alphabetical like.
No. I get that, but
Right.
Archibald
It's just Archibald.
Archipelago. Is your middle
Yeah.
name Architect? Is it just Arch?
You know,
Like, which Arch are you? Are you Archibald or Archipelago?
I'm all the arches. There, Arch is in both of the names, so then it's just simple to
That's-
remember the
that's-
one. It's perfect. And no, I don't have a middle name, but I see a missed opportunity there. Should I go to the council one day, I might change that and add that. I like the architect's suggestion.
No, that was a joke. No, oh God.
I thought it was quite interesting, in fact. But yes, just, Arch is simple, and Archipelago, it's he kind of like looks around and he glances up at the mural again, and he looks down at Nemo, and you see his eyes get a little watery, and he's like, well, Sosin used to call me this little island, because Archipelago, it's just a little thing. And yeah, and Sosin was my whisper, because Sosin susuro, and it means like a whisper, but long story, but yeah. But yes,
Kinda like-
Archipelago.
Kind of like a private family name kind of thing going. Okay, no.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Sorry about that then. Yeah, I just thought it was funny that it's like Arch and Arch, but no, that means something to someone. So
Yeah. I mean, and then like he's looking at you, Nemo, and then he like and like kind of fixes the you gotta
no,
hair
don't touch my stuff.
It's making it better.
Don't touch.
I mean, okay.
I haven't even had a chance to set it yet, and now it's like full of your spit.
It's all right. It's a little better now. But do you have a last name? I mean, I only know you as Nemo.
Well, I mean, Nemo is short. Like family-wise, it's Chimino Lapura, but a lot of people stumble over that. So when I got drafted, shall we say, they just shortened it to Nemo because it's a lot faster. It's 2 syllables. Just, hey, Nemo. It's easier that way. But yeah, no, everybody just calls me Nemo.
Chimini Latuda.
No, that's why everybody just calls me Nemo.
I'm just, okay. I was trying, but if you
No,
like
I know.
Nemo,
No, it's fine. No, Nemo. I'm used to it. It's been a couple years, so
Okay.
no, Nemo's cool. But I get. I mean, thanks. Funny. No one's actually asked me that in a really long time.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Hey.
I'm absolutely interested in. Oh,
You guys hear, and as your conversation is interrupted, you see Echo at this like larger opening in the side of one of the buildings, and is kind of leaning there. You gonna chat all day, or you want to save some lives?
I'll like hurry over and rush over to Io real quick, and Arch just kind of whispers in Io's ear like, hey, I don't know if it was just me or there seemed like a little thing kind of going there. If he does that again, maybe you could see if we could get those cool masks. I think it'll go great with our outfits.
I like this idea.
Yes. All right.
You all head over towards where Echo is. So as you head over, you see this. This is kind of like a garage setup. There's some interesting looking little vehicular devices and stuff that various people are working on. And then the walls are lined with those hoverboards that you had come into this area on the night previously, riding tandem. And Echo's like, after I talked to Heimer last night, he said I could trust you all, so Why don't you all grab one and we'll get going.
As long as one of your guys doesn't hold me like luggage again, I'd appreciate
No,
it.
you're gonna pilot your own this time. It's super easy, trust me.
Excuse me, can we get a hoverboard attendant if we want one?
I've got everybody. We're kind of stretched thin right now. Lots of my guys were arrested when the enforcers started doing their raids, so we're stretched thin right now. Maybe you could double up with the little guy there. He seems pretty confident right now. If you want.
This is quite possibly the worst decision you've ever made, sir.
No, I'll take my own. Okay.
You only live once. You gotta risk it. Plus, I'll stay close behind, just in case.
Right.
3 words: mobile shooting platform.
And he pulls the one off his back and kind of flips it in the air and like hits it while it's rotating in the air, and it turns on and like stops just a couple feet above the ground, and he hops on and he's like, all right, I'm gonna give you the basics. I'm gonna get everybody while Echo does this training seminar to give me an engineering check.
Oh God, I forgot we even had that stat.
That's why we're using it, because this is Ultra Modern 5, not D&D 5e.
So, Arch is looking over the stuff, and he's just so excited to be able to play with this board that he doesn't typically pay attention well during instructions. So there's a blue glow of the necklace just kind of shines, and there's this slight blue sparkle in the eye. It's not taking over the entire eye, but just a single little sparkle in there. And I'm going to use Ghostly Intuition, which is my first ability, so that way I can have advantage on an intelligence check, because mine is not great.
So what is your check then?
Natural 20 with the advantage.
Put your 20s in the chat. Good use of that first ability, which we get from completing a level 1 hype train. So thank you so much, summoners in chat.
I don't know if it matters. There's a -1.
So a 19 overall. Perfect. Do you want to use a summoner spell to just make that a 20
Yeah,
anyway?
let's keep it into the 20. It sounds better.
Reggie.
Can I offset that natural 20 with a natural 1?
Oh, no.
Put your ones in the chat sorrowfully. So what does that give you as a total, Reggie?
4.
A 4? Okay. Io?
I'm going to use 3 of my summoner spells to make that a 16.
Okay. Niche.
When Niche sees Echo pull out his board, flip it in the air, and then press a button to get it to hover, about 30 seconds later, Niche has already grabbed a board from the wall and does the exact same thing. She gets a 25.
Okay. Perfect. And Nemo.
I will burn 2 of my summoner spells.
Summoner spells.
Summoner spells.
There you go.
To make it a 23.
Okay. Perfect. So as Echo kind of does this demonstration and whatnot, Niche and Nemo seem to be picking it up really well. Io and Arch, maybe the occasional question or two here. Reginald looks like a ghost, like they're about to get sick, and is not following any of this. Just standing in the corner, and finally Echo jumps off his board, and that's pretty much it. I think, yeah. Think you all got it?
Yeah, it should be fine.
Wait, it's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, just you shift your center of gravity, and then when you're hitting the pedals, yeah, no, that's pretty simple.
Reggie, hold on to your hat though. You don't want to lose it.
Wonder what I could do with my tail.
Does it still work if I sit on it?
Yes.
I wouldn't suggest that. See, because what'll happen is, and he unwraps a piece of cloth from his hand, and you see now that his hands seem to be perpetually wrapped like a boxer, and kind of tears off a piece and tosses it near this fan that's on the back of the board, and it just shreds and shoots out confetti the other side. I've seen that happen to people's feet, hands before. Probably not a good idea to sit there. That coat you're wearing might get sucked right in.
But it's just this newfangled technology is so confusing. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'll be fine. Don't worry about me.
All right.
Let's go.
Okay. Well, as Echo kind of hops on the board and pulls their mask down, maybe don't forget the masks today. We're going to not a great place. And goes to take off. I'm going to thank Julian for giving +1 Summoner points to the entire crew. You can catch the wonderful Julian on Honor Roll on Fridays right here on the Free Forge at the same time that we go. And I did already mention, but I'll mention again just in case, Who 2099 gave 1 to Arch, and Warrior gave 1 to Arch and Reggie. So lots of summoner spells, folks. They're going to need them as they continue this mission that they're on. And as Echo kind of does like a little spin trick move and shoots off up and to the right of the tree to one of the sewer exits, as you all hop on your boards and try and follow, I will get everybody to make athletics or acrobatics checks, whichever you prefer.
All right. Reggie is putting on their mask.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
I'm assuming everybody's putting on their mask?
Yes.
Yep.
Especially
Yes.
because Echo said it.
Yes.
So you all have like just the regular masks that people buy when they just live in Zon. Maybe you can get custom masks eventually, but so Arch.
That's going to be an 18 for Arch. I'm going to go ahead and use one of those summoner spells that I received to make it a 19 to be extra cool.
Okay. Reggie? Oh, sorry. Actually, Reggie, you need to make yours at disadvantage. My apologies. Yeah.
How dare.
Sorry,
How
because
dare.
you didn't pay attention to the training video very well, so.
I did say earlier that I was going to hang back around Reggie. I just want to put that out there.
Okay. What,
It doesn't change anything. Okay,
what was
cool.
your check?
It's worth waiting for. I'm going to use 4 summoner spells and make it a 12.
Okay. First DC was only 10, so you're good. Io? Oh, I shouldn't have said that with 3 other people left to go.
I was like, oh, okay.
My bad.
Cool. That was a 13.
13. Niche?
14.
14 and Nemo?
I roll at advantage, so I have to pick either the nat 20 or the nat 20 for a 27.
Whatever.
Oh,
Put your 20s in the chat.
What is happening today?
Just
Theory-
posted the picture in our Discord.
Theory over function. Niche, even though you understand the mechanics of the board and how it works and everything really well, your physical prowess isn't as on point, and you are able to follow without much trouble, but like not doing any of the cool stuff. Io and Arch are the same, and Reggie, you are like puttering along behind everybody else, but you notice that Nemo takes off directly after Echo and matches him move for move. And Echo and Nemo seem to be doing like little tricks and like getting ahead of the group a little bit. And you travel through the sewer system for what appears to be a long time, and you keep going down. And a couple of turns down, couple of turns down, couple of turns down, until you're not sure how much further. This is by far the furthest any of you have ever gone in the Undercity. People don't typically, like, you're in the area where people don't typically come back from. And once you hit a certain point, you come to this large sewer entrance, and you see just above the entrance is this neon pink paint and it's a sinister looking, just 2 dashes for eyes and a like weird triangle for a mouth with like these long fang teeth. And Echo kind of slows up and stops at the entrance of the sewer. All right, it's down here. I know that some of Silco's people are still loyal to Jinx for some reason. I don't get it, but I'll hang out here and make sure that nobody ambushes you from behind. But you're gonna have to go at it by yourself right now. I can't afford to risk getting hurt with all the people depending on me now, even more than they did before this all happened. So, good luck. Try and get Vi for me, okay?
Should be pretty easy. Go in, shoot somebody, rescue people, deliver them, go kill the guy that hired us. Yeah, it'll be simple.
Huh. Yeah. It always is that simple, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. I'll,
You know, it might be simpler if, like, I had your mask. They might think it was you. It could be a huge deception.
You see his hand go towards his waist.
I just back up. Or not.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go do some perimeter searches and be careful. She's a lot tougher than she looks. Kind of gives you a nod and starts boarding down the pipe. So as you kind of enter, you can see that this individual pipe is a little bit more narrow than the other ones, and probably isn't great for hoverboard use. You can definitely try and hoverboard down here if you want, or you can enter normally. I will get a marching order from everybody, and if you are going to be moving quietly or at a higher pace. I should also mention as well that it is pitch black down here. So anybody without dark vision, as you enter the tunnel, you cannot see down through the tunnel.
As incredible as these are, I think we should leave them behind. It makes for a good exit strategy, if anything else.
Yeah, also like the whole being sneaky thing with these big, like bright green glowing trails behind you. Not exactly what I would call like subterfuge and stealth. So yeah, no, I'm walking in.
Normally I wouldn't mind going first, but I can't see anything in here. So maybe second?
I
Wait,
might
who-
be able to help with
who
that
can
a
see in the
little
dark?
bit.
I can see in the dark. Io, can you see in the dark?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because we're like whatever. Anybody else?
Nope.
I also might be able to help. Niche, what do you got?
And Niche unzips their fanny pack and will pull out that same multi-tool. Elle, if you will allow me, maybe it has a pin light on it that Niche can turn
I'll give you
on.
5 foot bright, 10 foot dim.
Perfect. So it's not much light, but it's better than nothing, right? And it's this piece of that gauntlet that she puts on. It's one of the tools around the wrist. She flips it up so it's kind of back along her hand, and it provides just a little bit of soft blue light.
If you want to, are you going to go in the front or the back? Because I'd like to help too.
Where would you like to be?
I'll stick closer to the back, and Reggie will take out his pocket watch, and he's gonna click it twice in rapid succession, and it's gonna flip open, and the clock face is gonna start glowing this like soft orange color, and then they'll just kind of throw it casually into the air, and it'll kind of flip over, and just as it starts to fall, the cover that's split in half starts flapping like little wings, and it's just going to hover near me, providing a little extra light. So that if you stay closer up there and I stay a little bit back here, then we've got some pretty good light coverage for a little while.
All right.
Okay.
Marching order.
Right. You guys need light. I don't. I'm going to be way ahead of you. Because if I like, it spoils the whole, like, I can see in the dark if there's light and then nothing.
So how far ahead are you going?
Probably, definitely outside the radius of the dim light that they're shedding.
Okay, so 15
30
feet ahead.
50 feet, yeah. Easy.
No, 15 is all you really need to go.
Oh, okay. Then I'll go about 25.
Depending on where
then.
Reggie is in the line. So we're going Nemo out ahead scouting. Arch will be leading the main contingent. Who's behind Arch?
And Niche.
Then Niche, then Io, then Reggie at the rear. Okay. And you're all moving stealthily, I take it? So I will get stealth checks from everybody.
Then I will use my second level ability, Sneaky Sneaky.
Okay.
And
Arch.
I'm going to use 2 summoner spells to bring me up to 15.
15. Okay. Reggie.
I'm going to use 1 to bring me up to 15.
Okay. Io.
I'm going to use 1 summoner spell to bring me up to 15 as well.
Okay, like, I get that you all are becoming a close-knit group, but, like, you don't have to copy each other. Sarah, or Niche, sorry.
Put your 20s in the chat.
There's
another one.
Yes!
So that gives you a
20.
20. Okay, and Nemo? What does it look like? What does it look like as Nemo uses his ability and scurries off into the darkness?
As he's like standing in just on the edge of the dim light, he kind of looks at everybody and he just shimmers, just like shudders for a little bit, and you watch as the white stripes blacken, like everything kind of blends together, and he's just a completely black furred shape, and then just steps into the shadows with a 25 and stealths into next week's episode.
If only you were that lucky.
I know. It's like, goodbye, everybody.
So, Nemo, as you head down this corridor, it seems to be fairly straight and goes on for quite some time, and you start to see at the edge of your dark vision an opening, and you keep going and you get to the edge of this opening and it opens into this large room. Your dark vision, you cannot see the other side of it, but luckily you don't need to.
Oh, okay.
Because as you use a charge of your glasses, you see neon depictions on the floor, on the ceiling, on the walls, on everywhere of these green, pink, purple, all neoned out faces, sketches, random words that don't make any sense, as if somebody had just spent all of this time like painting miscellany randomness all over this room. You can see there's another exit on the other side, but other than that, it's like a bare cubed room and doesn't make any sense to you.
I'll hold up my hand so they just see it as the light comes up. Just like,
Arch will follow the instruction.
Sneak back. There's weird shit going on. It's like all like neon paint on the walls. Who is this person?
Would Arch know a little bit about Jinx to know
Roll me
that?
a history check.
So that is actually only -1. 7.
You know that Silco had an adoptive daughter named Jinx, and that she was considered to be like his prized person. That's it.
So I'm a big fan of the darker colors like blues and grays. Anyone that has the brightest colors ever, you can't trust them. And I'll put the brass knuckles on, clang them together.
Yeah,
But not really, like just like
it doesn't seem right. It's like, hey, look, ta-da. So step carefully, I guess. I don't know. Just nothing seems this is weird. And I'll just slowly walk into the room while hopefully looking down, making sure I'm not stepping on a trap or something.
Okay, are you actually actively looking for a trap?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, roll me an investigation check.
Okay. I'm not that good. Shit. 16. Wait, how many points do I have? I'll burn 4 for a 20.
yes.
And then I think I'm out of them.
No, you had 7, so
Oh, okay.
I am also going to burn 4.
Oh.
Doesn't seem like there's any traps.
I hate you. But okay.
You guys have done it to me, so
Yeah, just very, very slowly walking through the room, looking at each one of those weird things on the walls and trying to get stealthily but quickly to the other side where the other entrance is, because this feels really funky.
is everybody else following?
Yes.
So, as you walk into this now being a more tight-knit group, you get about halfway through the room before you hear a tss, and the walls just seem to fall away. And the floor on the far side and the other side and basically all around you starts to drop off. And you hear, welcome! So nice to have all of you here. Better step quickly. It's gonna be a wild ride.
We should run. And also, it would have been nice to keep the boards.
You can't run! There's no fucking floor!
It's starting to fall away, like starting where you came in and is wrapping around towards and out. Kind of like a domino effect. So coming up behind you and spreading out across the floor.
Run! Run! Run!
I'll grabbing Reggie's arm and just like, come on! And trying to run with him.
So as you all run, I'm going to get everybody to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh, crap. Okay, proficiency. Okay.
Arch.
That's a 25. How about that?
Damn. Reggie.
The 5?
Okay.
I grabbed him. Is there any way that I could like dump all 8 points to help Reggie out?
Sure, I'll allow it.
Boom! All
We'll
8
get him
summoner spells.
barely to the. I'm gonna take half your summoner spells, and we'll let Reggie. Oh no, sorry.
My hero.
One more because you need to get him to a 10. Io.
I am going to use my bent, not broken.
Perfect. And what does that
to
look like?
Reroll to make.
That's your second ability, correct? I
Yes,
believe?
my second ability. It's very subtle and just a soft purple light flips on in her eyes, and a violet energy surrounds her. And I'm going to reroll that for a 19.
Perfect. Niche?
Gets a 15. She's actually
And
pretty quick on her feet.
Nemo?
Or at the very least seems to move faster than you think she should.
And Nemo?
18 on the die for 25.
Perfect. So you all are able to just make it. Reggie just barely stepping off the platform into the sewer entrance at the other end as the floor falls away. Ah! That was pretty fun. I think we can make it more fun, though. And as you're all standing there, the tube starts to shake. And then feels like it's like when you see tubing falling off of your ceiling in like an unfinished basement or something, and you all are dumped onto your rumps and start sliding down this tube. And you just hear this maniacal laughter as you're sliding down, probably about a good 30 or 40 feet, and you're dumped out onto this platform. And as you all kind of pick yourselves up and look around, you're in this huge cylindrical room that goes up further than even your 120 feet dark vision can see, Nemo, and further down in the same direction. Those of you without dark vision can see out to your limit, but that's it. But there's a long bridge type thing that you have dumped out and landed on, and in the center is this large circular platform, and it is dark when you first land, and you kind of look up, and Nemo, being the first one in the tube, you kind of look in front of you and you see this little metallic bauble that is kind of chattering and walking back and forth in a little line in front of you, and it's and then I will get everybody to make one more dexterity saving throw as it explodes in front of all of you.
Crap. Okay, not as good.
Arch?
16.
Okay. Reggie?
Candle's gonna get me new dice because that's another 4.
Oh no!
Io?
That's a 2.
Oh no.
Okay. Niche?
A 3.
Ooh. And Nemo?
A 23.
Okay, so Arch and Nemo, you will both take 6 points of explosive damage. All 3 of you that failed will take 12 as this explosion fills your vicinity. And as you kind of like cough and you're picking yourselves back up and you look down in the center of this platform, all of a sudden a light from some unknown location shines down like a spotlight, and in the center of this platform you see 2 individuals in chairs, back to back, tied together. And then you see lights go on way off in the distance on 4 other bridges that seem to extend out from this central platform. And you see 2 individuals standing at the end of these bridges on each of these 4. And you hear this voice again come from the top. Well, looks like we're gonna have a party after all. Have fun. Don't bore me. And that is where we are going to end tonight's match.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Wait, that's where we're ending tonight?
That's where we're ending tonight's match, yep.
But next week's the... Oh, no.
Oh
Yep.
boy.
So, summoners in the chat, thank you so much. We hit a level 7 hype train tonight, y'all.
Damn.
And y'all still managed to power through a lot of those summoner spells, which is perfect because it appears as if you have found Jinx's lair. And we will see what happens. We are the mid-season finale next week against Jinx. It's almost like I planned it. Huh, weird. So crazy how that happens. And we are also going to be, next week is going to be the end. I should talk about the start. We are... Oh, couple of important announcements really quick. There will be no Deej stream tomorrow, no solo stream for Deej tomorrow, and no Art with Heart on Sunday. And I will tell you why. I know I'm super upset and super sad about it as well. Just getting over my sickness, I haven't gotten to see a Deej stream in like almost 2 weeks, and it's breaking my heart. But I understand why. It's because on Friday, with the start of Honor Roll, we are going to be kicking off the Freeforge's next charity event, which is benefiting NAMI. And if you are not sure what NAMI is the national affiliate of, I can never remember the acronym, National Alliance on Mental Illness is what NAMI is. And we are going to be spending several days raising money for NAMI with our new charity event. It's all kicking off on Friday with Honor Roll. Then there are just a whole bunch of Freeforge in-house tabletop RPG games that are going to be happening over the weekend, which is why we're not doing Art with Heart and things like that. So make sure, thank you so much, mods, for hitting that Freeforge. Join the Freeforge so that you can watch those games. Your boy right here is going to be playing a Power Ranger on Saturday morning for part of the charity event. So make sure you check that out. There's really tons of cool games. So yeah, there's the Power Rangers game that's on Saturday morning, which Anne, our lovely, lovely EXO Girl Wonder, is going to be GMing. And the wonderful James is going to be in it. Taldos Graham is going to be in it, and Dyer. It's going to be fantastic. Then we also have a game called Escape from Flump with GM Daghausen. If you don't know Dag's a wonderful individual. And then also on Saturday, we're having a spooktacular with GM Taldos. Then on Sunday morning, there is a honey heist with Astral Jednot as the DM, and then a game of Sunken where Mare is GMing, and I've played Sunken with Mare before, and it's fantastic.
That one looks good.
And then Goat Crashers with the one and only James GMing on Sunday evening. Then on Monday, Deej is going to be doing a solo stream, which is also going to be a charity solo stream. And then you're going to wrap up the charity event for NAMI with us on Become Legend at the regular time while they try and take on Jinx, and who knows what other fun things are going to be in store for that session. So, yeah, our champions get to wrap up the event. Now, remember, with the exception of Honor Roll, the Deej stream, and Become Legend, all the other games, fantastic games that I talked about, you can only watch them in our Discord. So please, 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 if you are new around here, make sure you're hitting up that Discord and joining us. It's a fantastic community, and we would love to have you join us. Let's give it up for my champions tonight. Arch being played by the incredible Friggins, Reggie being played by the always facially fun Kajere. Facially fun. That's right. That's your new tagline. The always enigmatic Io being played by the only way we can say it now because of Deej, Kim Grimm. Niche being piloted by the wonderful Sarah L. Kinney, and Nemo being played by our awesome paleontologist dinosaur dude Trevor Valley. So make sure you are checking out the Freeforge Discord, getting in on that hype. We have some really cool stuff that we're going to be posting. There's going to be tons of incentives, tons of giveaways. So make sure you rest up without a Deej stream tomorrow. And we see you in chat for Honor Roll on Friday at 7:30 Central. And,
Go Hogs!
Go Hogs! Yeah, go Hogs!
Hogs!
Thank you again so much for all of the bits, all of the subs. You guys got their ultimates back, which I guarantee you they are going to need. It might be the first lair that I've ever homebrewed that they're going to be doing next week, so get ready for that. And thank you so much, everybody. We love you all. And until our next match, have a good night.
Bye.